In this video, we're going to be covering different kinds of variables and how and when to use these variables when you're building your AI agents. Let's go ahead and get started. You can see here that I have an agent built, and this agent is just going to display some content. We'll have the option to modify one of our variables, and then we will display the content again. And there are three kinds of variables that you should know about. The first is the runtime variable, and this is just a regular variable that you would set when you're building your AI workflows. It's typically set in your user inputs or when you create a generate text block. This is the regular variable that you simply give it a name and it is assigned that value. And these variables are scoped to the single run of the AI agent, meaning that on new runs, that variable will not be assigned yet. And we'll take a look at what that looks like in just a second. When you name these variables, you just give it a name. You can name it whatever you'd like, and it will save for that particular run. The next kind of variable we're going to talk about is the global variables. And these variables are scoped to the entire agent. They are global and they are persistent between runs. So what that means is that you can set a global variable in your workflow, and then on the next run, you will still have that information saved when you are running your AI agent. So this is particularly useful when you have information that needs to be persistent in between runs, things like API keys, or whether you are gathering some sample documents, or you need to reference a style guide or something like that. And so you can use these global variables. These are things that will be global, meaning everybody else that is using this AI agent will also be able to access those variables. The last kind of variable is the user variable, and this is scoped specifically to the user. It's also persistent between runs. However, the difference is that only the person that set that variable will have that information saved for their own sessions. Everybody else that's using the AI agent will not have access to that information. So let's take a quick look at what this looks like in practice. I have it open here, and you can see that we have our runtime variable. This is represented by our drink order because our drink order might change on every run. We have the global variable, and this is represented by a team captain. A team captain is going to remain relatively consistent between runs. And we have the user variable, and this is asking for a name, and we want that name to be specific to the user. So let me quickly move my windows to both sides because I have one user logged in on the right and one user logged in on the left. And let's quickly run it on the right-hand side. We're going to assign a drink order. And let's say this drink order is coffee. And now you can see that we have the drink order set to coffee. Now let's quickly do it on the left-hand side. We're going to assign a drink order, and maybe this person wants a soda. And in this case, we have the drink order soda and coffee. Now, if we go ahead and start a new run on both of these, you can see that the drink order no longer exists in this new run. And that's because this was a runtime variable. It was only available for that particular run. So let's go ahead and add our drink order one more time. We will have coffee. And then on the right-hand side, let's set our global variable. Let's set our team captain. And maybe our team captain's name is Billy. And now you can see that the team captain is named Billy here. So if we go click on next here, and now we assign our runtime variable as soda, and we click next, you can see on the left-hand side that we have the drink order soda, and our team captain is now filled in because that global variable now exists within the scope of our AI agent. Now, if we click and do a new run of these, you'll also see that that team captain value was saved between runs. So that global variable is saved between runs. Now let's go ahead and add our user variable. So the user variable, we're just going to ask for a name. And let's say on the right-hand side, the name is Sally. And then on the left-hand side, Let's say the name is Mike. Now you can see here that the user variable is only specific for this user. And when we start a new run, let's start a new run. You'll see that that value persists in between runs, but is specific to that user. There are many use cases for each of these variables. Typically, when you create your AI agents, you'll be using runtime variables. But like we said, for things like API keys or style guides or things that will apply to all the people using your AI agent, you may want to use a global variable. And then for user-specific settings, you might want to use a user variable. This could be things like style preferences, or could be facts about a specific user that is using your AI agent. And then the last thing to note, if we go back and open this up in full screen, is that the way you name these variables is important. So the runtime variable, you simply give it a name. The global variable, you need to prefix it with global dot and then the variable name. And then for the user variable, you will use user dot and then the variable name. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Hopefully it all makes sense. If you have questions, please feel free to leave a question in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.